wasn't terribly interested. She was just some girl that tried flirting with me and kind of seemed like a really, really young ditzy blonde, and that's pretty much it, yeah. Well, she said that I was really attractive and really intimidating, and she was all gung ho in college, like gonna go and flirt with some guys and go on dates, and I just totally shut her down, and she felt like she had a bit of a reality check, I guess. So we actually had a really good time. It was nice just to have like a solid date. Like it was just enjoyable in and of itself. Nice. There was a post-date text. There was a hug. It was great. I was originally gonna ask one of her roommates instead of her. My other roommate who knew she had a thing for me was like, "Hey, you should ask Hailey." And I was like, "Okay, fine." And so I asked Hailey. We went to an this improv Broadway show, Improvo, and so they do different shows and different songs. We got along really well. It almost seemed like we got along a little bit too well, like because things were going really well. We got froyo afterwards, but it almost seemed like she was doing a lot of flirtatious things. She was all dressed up nice. She was like touching my arm when I'd say something funny, and she was just all smiling and laughing. She was just throwing out all these questions at me all the time, and she was just agreeing with everything I was saying. And so I'm like, oh, she's just one of those girls. Like, I mean, nonetheless, it was a really fun time. And after that, we went and we dropped him back off at their apartment, and there was the hug, and she dropped this little, we should do it again sometime. There were a couple of times previous to that where I'd provided pretty clear opportunities for a first kiss to happen. We'd had different situations and some good like romantic spots and things where like, oh, if you wanted to, she could, I was really close. I'd like kiss her cheek. I'd go 90 and wait, but nothing really happened. And so, I got the idea. Okay, well, she doesn't want to kiss anyone unless she's serious about it. There's no recreational kissing here or whatever, which it's not like that's what I was going for, but it was taking her longer to come to that conclusion. And so eventually, when I'd kind of given up, I was like, whatever. If she kisses me, it's on her. And we were just sitting in my apartment. Maybe we just watched a movie or something like that. Just kind of like this, slumped over on a couch. And she just, we were talking a little bit about our relationship or something. And she asked me, "Is this real?" And I was like, what? What does that mean? Is this real? And she's like, well, like, did you like, you really, like, do you really mean it? Like, are you actually interested in me? And I was like, well, yeah. She was like below me, and she just sort of like swooped in really quick and kissed me and came back, and it was just like, it was short, wasn't all that great, but it was progress. I was like, okay, she went for it, so this means like future kisses will come, and it's a good starting point. She's very caring. I mean, that sounds really generic, but there's like, I don't know. She's like a kind person. She's very concerned. I'm never really worried that she's not going to be taking into consideration another person. And so she's kind of just has this general kindness and awareness, whereas I'm a little bit more narrow. I'm a very focused individual, and it's a good balance where I can help narrow her out and make sure things actually get done, and then she can make sure that I'm not really leaving out other important social type things on the side. Physical characteristic of Hailey. It's a dangerous question. I really like her eyes. There's just like really good color. Matches her hair really well. Goes well together. I don't know. There's something about those eyes when she like looks at me with those eyes, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, I really like it because it's like one of those things. Even if she's like sad, like her eyes still look great. Like they look sad, but they like look sad so well. Well, we both really like hiking, so I mean that's a really easy answer. We both just love being outdoors, and then being outdoors together just makes it that much better. It was a little bit after I knew I loved her. There was this time, it was like one of those really, really rare moments during school when I didn't have an incredible amount of homework to do. We took the opportunity and we were just hammocking, like somewhere on campus, you know, in between our dorms. And we were just lying in this hammock. And what I'd always been told, what my dad had told me, or what I'd been told in the blessing was, you know, you'll know when it's right, when it feels like home. You know, you'll just have this feeling, this good feeling, like it just feels natural. It feels like it's where you're supposed to be. And there's this time we were hammocking, and we were just lying in the hammock, and it was beautiful outside. It was sunny. It was a perfect day, and we were just like listening to some music, and so we were just lying next to each other in the hammock. And I was just, you know, we weren't really saying anything, and I was just thinking, you know, like, I'm not sure if this is what home feels like, but this is what I want home to feel like. And that was the day I was like, I could see myself marrying her. I think one thing that'll be really convenient is just being able to actually just go to bed, because it's like the whole time dating, it's like super late, you're both exhausted, you know, you want to spend as much time together as possible, and so you always stay up really late, and then you're both really tired, and then it's just so much harder to leave, and then like have to go and make the other person leave. And so I think being able to just like stay together will be great.